This stream is powered by Melita, using Melita Gigapower Internet. World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
Senna was a god. No one could even dream to follow him.
I'm from a very humble background.
The role of women at that time were really difficult.
It's just so dangerous. You're risking not only your life, but also my life.
wish your Wi-Fi network would just work in any room? Our new Stellar Wi-Fi is AI assisted to give you the smoothest, fastest possible Wi-Fi throughout your home. Stellar Wi-Fi, assisted by AI, exclusive to Melita. Find out more in-store or online.
World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to World Pro Racing. Here officially on motorsport.tv, esports TV, and also Malta's very own TVM Sport. You might also be watching via our various Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook streams. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, back with you once more on a Tuesday night after a brief hiatus after some work over in Portugal last week. But as Mark Antony once said in Julius Caesar, cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war. We're going to have around 30 Lamborghini Huracan Evo GT3s roaring around the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari at Imola this evening. That's nearly 19,000 horsepower. Also, we'd like to say that this stream has been powered. A big thank you to Melita, as well as our regular partners and sponsors, visitmalta.com, Gaming Malta, HyperX, AMD, and Thrustmaster. So the circuit at Imola itself is just over 3 miles long. It's 5.909 kilometers, based in the Bologna region. So the format for this evening, at 1:30, we will get underway with a 15-minute practice session and a 15-minute qualification session just afterwards. It's a 40-minute race. But there is a mandatory pit stop. There will be a 10-minute pit stop window, which will be at around about the halfway point of the race. The Lamborghini Huracan Evo GT3, a displacement of 5,204 cubic centimeters. So basically 5.2 litres, a 90-degree V-angle configuration of the fantastic V10 engine. Mounted at the back of the vehicle, it is rear-wheel drive with a Bosch Motorsport 10-speed traction control system and has a sequential 6-speed gearbox provided by Her, which is spelled H, O with an umlaut, R, so it is a German company, and it also has a lightweight flywheel. Dry weight, these cars weigh just over 1,230 kilos, not including the driver, and it is going to be rather exciting. We do have a couple of more events before the season concludes, and also the year concludes here on World Pro Racing. Can it really be that true that we're just at the cusp of going into 2021? This coming Thursday on the Gran Turismo Sport platform, we'll have the Suzuka GT3 Casual Race at 20:30 local time to Malta, and also we'll kick off our celebrations towards New Year just after Christmas on the 29th of December with the 90 minutes of Autodromo Nazionale di Monza on the 29th of December at 20:30 Central European Time. All grids are sold out. What a way to end the season here on World Pro Racing. Very shortly, we should be going to the track at Imola for the Lamborghini Challenge. And there we are. That is Diego Riboldi in the number 78. So we will have, all cars are exactly the same. The Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. And it was also developed at the headquarters of Lamborghini, Automobili Lamborghini, to be more precise, at Sant'Agata Bolognese, and in association with Squadra Corse, who are the official developers, the motorsport arm. And it's also the Lamborghini Super Trofeo, I've just been informed by our team. So the Super Trofeo car that is currently being used across the globe. So it is going to be, you can just hear those V10 engines literally power their way through the corners There's Luke Whitehead, a regular here on World Pro Racing. He's won a couple of GT3 races, the casual races on a Tuesday night, and also the 90 minutes of Hungaroring not too long ago. And he's looking quicker than anybody else in the number 4. He's first ahead of Ben Norton. Then we got some of the regular drivers, such as Plivac in the number 420, rounding out the top 3. Gergely Kunsabo in 7th. Gemello, Piarti, Reboldi. And there is Gergely Kunsabo in the number 11, the Hungarian driver from the Gifted Racing team. Always brings a bit of purple colour to us here on World Pro Racing, running on a 1 minute 47.0 at the minute. We're 14 minutes away from the checkered flag here at Imola for free practice. As you can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen, air temperature is 23 degrees Celsius, track temperature 31 degrees Celsius. We did have a GT3 race here at Imola, which was nothing if not spectacular. And that's what we're going to see with these Italian thoroughbreds. Mats Walden, one of the other regulars here, running in 20th position ahead of Littlewood. In number 14 with Raila, Elbrecht, Painter, Stiefort, Paganin, Zlagritsen. Now jumps up into 20th position. So deposes Mats Walden down to 21st. As the number 12 from Sweden improve at the moment, not quite yet, but drops down another position thanks to the likes of Daniele Pironi in the 96, currently rounding out the top 4. Gergely Kunsabo is one of the other drivers that have ended up in the pits. So it looks to be sunshine conditions here at Imola, as it looks like Pironi has already negotiated Variante Alta and now going through Rivazza, which is the double left that brings them on to the end of this 3.050 mile, 4.909 kilometre circuit. There's Steve Painter from GDL Racing in the number 68, currently rounding out the top 26 position at the minute. So we do have 29 cars, so that's around about 18,800 or so, 850 approximate horsepower being produced by these Italian thoroughbreds, the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. And Painter looks to be making his way through Tosa and then heading up into slight right kink before just going up the slight incline towards the left-hander at Piratella before the double right at Acqua Minerale. So we go on board with Steve Painter, just having a look, up to 3rd, up to 4th gear. Now into the double right at Acqua Minerale. Is he going to keep it committed? Lift off the throttle there, runs a bit wide, drops down 3 gears and decides to stay out of the way, whereas Luke Whitehead is still very much setting the pace in this free practice session in 11.5 minutes to go, 1 minute 45.744 for the Brits. So let's go on board with him as he's now heading through Rivazza. So just modulating the throttle there. Gets a little bit of snap-on oversteer coming through the last corner out to Rivazza. He's going to come across the line. Looks like a pretty good lap here from Luke Whitehead. What's he going to put through on the timesheets this time? A 1 minute 45.291 from the Brit, eclipsing his previous lap time by over 4.5 tenths of a second. There is a double waved yellow at Tamburello, but look at the gap between him and Ben Norton. 0.162 at the minute. Adam Plivac in the number 420 rounds out the top 3, covered by just over half a second. Then we have got Daniele Pironi in the number 96, 6 tenths off. Then Jamsran in the number 17, rounding out the top 5. Luke Whitehead comes to an abrupt stop at Tosa and gets in the way of somebody else that I'm not too sure who that was, as we now go to Ben Norton. So he's just completed an outlap, so he's going to get the tyres and the brakes up to temperature, get the Lamborghini Super Trofeo ready to go on a hot lap, as he now has come out of Variante Alta, now under the bridge, which will then see the track veer to the right-hand side before the double left at Rivazza. So 10 minutes to go. Whitehead leads from Norton, Plivac, Pironi, Jamsran, Gemello, Finazzi, Kunsabo, Noto in 9th, Mathieu Milo in 10th, Chiardi, Reboldi, Castisalu, Revrock, Ressa, Paganin, Cisco, Johnson, Begstrom, and Afonseca rounding out the top 20 positions, followed by Lagertsen, Walden, Littlewood, Jan Reiler in the number 1, who we're currently with at the moment. Albrecht, Painter, Stiegfort, Corso, and Parna rounding out the 29 strong. So we have got a yellow flag situation at the circuit. As there is Ben Norton. Oh, who's gone? Now he's gone P1. So that was a 1 minute 45.687. So I'm wondering if Luke Whitehead's previous time had actually been disallowed. But it was an absolutely epic lap from Luke Whitehead. It was a 1 minute 45.2. So whether that has been sort of not so much brushed under the carpet, but it's one that's had to be disposed of. As Plivac in the 420 from Team Plivac coming across the start-finish line. He's best so far is a 1 minute 45.756. Stays third, I think, for the moment. So a little bit of work to do. As Umberto Noto in the number 72 Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Best lap from that driver is keeping him 9th at the moment. So the yellow flags have now been retracted. So there's Tanel Kasisalu from Estonia in the number 88 Super Trofeo. Another regular here on World Pro Racing on the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform. Big thank you to the likes of 505 Games and Kuno Simulazione for being able to bring this fantastic game to life. And I understand it's recently had Racing Game of the Year awarded to it by Downforce Racing quite recently. So kudos to 505 Games for providing one of the most realistic, if not in my personal eyes, one of the most realistic simulated games that we have. Very, very true to real life. And graphically is absolutely fantastic as Kasisalu now comes through Rivazza. So will the Estonian improve from 13th position in this free practice session, which has just 7 minutes to go? As his Super Trofeo, the number 88, rolls across the start-finish line to complete another lap. It doesn't look like an improvement there. But Luke Whitehead, yes, it looks like his best time in this practice session has been disallowed. So he is currently in second with Ben Norton from Gifted Racing Team still leading the way with 6.5 minutes still to go. Gemello, Finazzi, Noto, Paganin, Walden, all in the pits at the minute. You can just hear those exhausts crack, bang and pop as they go down the gearbox, especially coming through into Rivazza. As Whitehead getting an absolutely monstrous slipstream here, but he's flashing at the car in front, trying to get past, and that could be possibly, if there's a load of purple on that car, that will be Gogli Consabo, which is the... Oh, sorry, but that was as Whitehead. Wow. That is an absolutely storming time in 1 minute 45.018. I think that slipstream actually helped Luke Whitehead there to put in that absolutely blistering lap time. So Whitehead, he's won a couple of races here on World Racing, and that has really given him the confidence. He's none of these drivers are hanging about here in the Super Trofeos. Adam Plivac still rounding out the top three. Gemello, Finazzi and Noto all in the pits in a minute. Kasisalu has opted to go into the pits. Yellow flags out briefly, but get retracted as we have just over 5.25 minutes still to go in free practice here on World Pro Racing. So if you do want to join us, why not head to our official website, worldproracing.com. We do use a multitude of different sim racing platforms, including Assetto Corsa Competizione on your screen at the moment, rFactor 2, Gran Turismo Sport, and a whole host more. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, amongst other social media platforms. Oh, Plivac goes a bit wide there. That was possibly maybe on Tamburello or maybe even Variante Alta, but it was definitely a very, very tight chicane. There's Ed Revrock in the Revolt Racing team. Looks to be a Dutch flag against the number 76 there. Now heading up to Piratella, up the dip, up to the crest, down to the dip, into the left-hander, sweeps the number 76 Lamborghini Super Trofeo. A little bit further down, you'll find the double right at Acqua Minerale. So let's stay with Ed rFactor at the moment, as he's now going to go up the hill. And this is where the climb really starts. Up towards Variante Alta. Looks to have a couple of drivers just up ahead. So brakes from goes down 2 gears, I think. Oh! rFactor having to do a lot of opposite lock. It was a tank slapper and a half. I think that was definitely a heart attack moment there for the number 76, but he kept it under control coming out, so it was a little bit to the, slide to the left and slide to the right for rFactor as he now goes through into the first of the double lefts at Rivazza. So he's currently 15th at the moment, up to 4th. Let's see if the number 76 Lamborghini improves. These are all the same cars, the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. rFactor goes P14, a 1 minute 47.949. It's best effort so far, as we've got just over 3 minutes remaining in this session. Mihai Sutianu, a regular here also, featured in the podiums quite a few times in the last few weeks. Number 22 Lamborghini, currently P7 at the moment. So let's see, is there an improvement? Not quite at the moment. That time would have been disallowed at 1 minute 46.170. So Reina Hessa in the 690 gets a bit squirrely coming out of Tosa. And then onto the run to Piratella. Here's Jorge Afonseca, the Portuguese driver in the number 67 from GDL Racing. Currently on a best of a 1 minute 49.7, putting in the Portuguese driver down in 22nd position. 2.5 minutes to go. And Afonseca does not improve. Pritpanna from Estonia in 26th position. Just about to say 27th, and the Estonian decides to throw in a personal best of 1 minute 51.705. So Jamsaran in the number 6. In 6th place in the number 17, currently on a best effort of a 1 minute 46.5, but a best effort just about 0.4 of a second shy. So Luke Whitehead has kept it in the pits at the moment. Feels that besides discretion is the better part of valor, as we've had that is Reina Hessa deciding to go off track at Rivazza and then parks it into the pits. So some of the drivers crossing the line, including Jamsaran going across the line now. Sutianu now going through the double left at Rivazza. Was up to 6th briefly, now dropped down to 7th. The Walk Racing driver now pushing the accelerator down to the floor. And goes P3, a 1 minute 45.705. A great job there by Mihai Sutianu in the number 22 with just over 60 seconds of the session remaining. And look at the gap between Whitehead. A 1 minute 45.018 from Whitehead, a 1 minute 45.687, and then it is a further 18 thousandths of a second back to Sutiano. Plivac Kunsabo rounds out the top 3, covered by 1.317 seconds. And just see how much Luke Whitehead has really started to dominate proceedings, as we've got about 35 seconds left in free practice here at Imola. Diego Riboldi in the number 78, currently 13th position, looking to maybe improve on a 1 minute 47.9, but the time is fast ticking away. And Riboldi definitely up to full chat, going through the double right at Acqua Minerale, dab on the brakes, make sure they don't run wide. But that is it. Checkered flag is out for the session. And Luke Whitehead definitely firing that warning shot across the bows to every single one of the 28 other Super Trofeo Lamborghinis. Let's just keep our eyes on Sutiano at the minute, because that's looking a bit quick. And that number 22 Walk Racing Super Trofeo. And he's now coming out of Rivazza for the final time as one of the Super Trofeos exits stage left on the start-finish straight. Let's see, does Sutiano go anywhere near the 1 minute 45.01? Oh, he gets close to within 3/10. Nice work by Mihai Sutianu. And that's exactly 3/10, a 45.318. And that concludes the practice session with Whitehead ahead of Sutianu. Well. They do say that these are not Italian thoroughbreds for nothing. And with over 25 plus cars, 29, I count, this is going to be a Lamborghini Super Trofeo race that is going to be pedal to the metal from the word go. So we've got a full grid of 30, I've just been informed. So that is 18,900 horsepower approximately. That is going to literally be screaming across the line when we go lights out for our race at around about 2100 local time in Central Europe. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm not going to hold my hopes on any particular driver, because we all know, as those that might have seen the casual race for Monza when we did that a little while ago, probably in the last couple of weeks, there was carnage going into Tamburello. It is about keeping things clean. It's about keeping your nose out of trouble, and also making sure that if you're in the mid-pack, just avoid where you can and make sure that you drive it cleanly. Because those drivers, it's not just about the fact that these drivers are going to really, really have a chance to strategize, because a pit stop's in with this. Some drivers might decide to go full bore, flat out, have the absolute minimum amount of fuel to get them through. Qualifying now officially underway, as we are with Luke Whitehead. Now, he was faster than Mihai Sutianu by exactly 3/10 in the free practice session. Ben Norton did his level best to keep in touching distance of his fellow countrymen. But Whitehead has been the powerhouse here at Imola. So you can actually hear when they're going into a chicane, and that is Variante Alta, because now Luke Whitehead is moving over into Rivazza. He drops down 2 gears, and I just had to keep quiet for a moment because that roar from that naturally aspirated V10 engine from the Lamborghini Super Trofeo, oh, it's glorious. And also being here at Imola, virtually speaking. Okay, let's go on board with Luke Whitehead. Okay, up to 6th. We're now going to head towards Tamburello. Okay, let's see how hard he is on the brakes. Down from 6th into 3rd gear as someone literally flatlines it. As you can see, Whitehead trying to put on the power. 2 drivers going off there. So we're now going to head towards the left-hander at Villeneuve, which then goes literally into a 90 right. Okay, so he's fully committed at the moment. The back end's sort of trying to give him a bit of problems as he goes through the hairpin left at Dorza. Now up the incline and under the bridge before it then turns to the right-hand side under the Audi Sport bridge. Then into the 90 left at Piratella. And then we'll go down again, down an incline, descent through into the double right at Acqua Minerale, down from 5th to 4th. Now to 3rd, now to 2nd, because it's a tighter right-hander through the exit. And then the run up the hill towards Variante Alta. So it's a right-left. So he's going to drop from 5th. Oh, he actually dropped from 5th to 2nd there. No, make that 1st. Okay, so he's now going to go up to the double left at Rivazza. Just over 11 and a half minutes remaining in this session. And I think, I'm wondering whether Luke Whitehead is just getting himself a little bit of space out on the track. Right, looks to have been the case, so it might have been a strategy call there from Luke Whitehead. So So Luke Whitehead goes P3 with a 1 minute 51.246. Ben Norton showing at the top of the timesheets at the minute. We've got just under 11 minutes to go in the session. So top 10 at the moment is Norton from Kunsabo up into second. Piardi, Reboldi will make that Finazzi. Roberto Finazzi now up into third place. Piardi, Reboldi, Whitehead is dropping down the order, but we have seen it before. Where he's come back from literally dead on nowhere and put the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons. Afonseca, well, it looks like Riboldi's gone up into sixth, ahead of Whitehead, Rivrock, Afonseca. The times are changing all the time at the minute because we're getting close to the end of the first 5 minutes. At the moment, Ben Norton not too far off his best time so far in free practice. He's about just under 2/10 off, 1 minute 45.9. Pritpanna goes 8th with a 1 minute 50.856. The Kunsabo, isn't it, is over 4/10 of a second. And you can see now, just behind the times on your screens, that Luke Whitehead is going to try and make good his intentions, as that looks to be Mats Walden. Also Luke Whitehead goes off into the gravel just off of Rivazza. Roberto Finazzi, 1 minute 47.142 from the 391 from Italy. He's now heading out of Variante Alta under the Silea Bridge and then into the double left as Gurgly Kunsabo just literally has 3 of the Italian contingent up into the top 6. Casisalu from Estonia. Well, Matthew Milu now joins the party and drops Casisalu down to 8th with the number 69 driver up to 7th. Noto and Piardi ran out the top 10 ahead of Ressa, Johnson, Ligritsen, Cisco, Corso, Revrock, Parna and Reboldi, with Whitehead down in 19th position ahead of Portugal's Jorge Afonseca. A little bit of a run wide there, a bit of a cheeky run wide there from Mihai Sutianu coming out of Piratella. There's Daniele Pironi from the Nord-Est Racing Team in the number 96. Currently P3. Best effort of 1 minute 43.176. It's just around 8/10 off of the pace that has been shown in the early doors of qualifying by Mihai Sutianu from Walk Racing. As we fast approach the halfway point of the session. And there it is, 7.5 minutes to go. Pironi. Luke Whitehead has gone provisional pole right on half-time in the session. So the number 4 is ahead of Sutianu, Norton, Pironi, Kunsabo. Oh, hang on a second. That was Marcus Littlewood. He's now gone up in the number 14, up to 6th place ahead of Finazzi. And that is Pironi in the number 96. Currently 4th at the moment. Let's see if he improves and maybe gets the jump on some of the other drivers. Oh, that's a good lap there from the 96. A 1 minute 45.801. So that effectively means that the top 3 are covered by about half a second. Mathieu Milo in the GDL Racing number 69. Lamborghini Super Trofeo goes P9, 1 minute 47.016. So the times, they are starting to get closer and closer. It's a bit like an Audi where you can press it. Pritpanna in the number 9 from Estonia, currently 22nd on a 1 minute 50.628, but goes P21 and dips under the 1 minute 50-second barrier here at Imola, a 1 minute 49.293. Plivac is running in the top 5 in the free practice session, currently running P5 in qualifying with 6 minutes on the clock to go. As there looks to be 2 of the Nord-Est drivers just up ahead. So Plivac in the 420. He's come through Acqua Minerale. Gets a nice little bit of a slipstream there into Variante Alta. Now powers out. Now it's the run to the left and then the right hand kink for the double left at Rivazza. Yellow flags are out briefly but then get retracted. down into second gear. Yellow flag's out again with just 5 minutes and 10 seconds still to go in the session. Plivac will now hurtle towards the start-finish line. Can the number 420 improve from 5th place? No, not quite. I think that lap might have just been stays in 5th, but it looks like the lap time was disallowed. It gets a little bit tail happy going through the first part of Tamburello. Tamburello used to be, back in the 90s, before unfortunately the passing of the late Ayrton Senna de Silva and Roland Ratzenberger in the same weekend in early May 1994. The circuit is now been in its current configuration from 2009 to the current date. At this moment in 2020 is Gergely Kunsabo looking to improve 6th place here in qualifying, flashing one of the drivers just up ahead. 1 minute 46.314 is the best effort so far. But that lap was about a couple of tenths off, so Kunsabo needs to get a wriggle on. 4 minutes on the session still to go here in qualification, as Mathieu Milo still 9th place at the minute. And he's quite a considerable time down off of Luke Whitehead, who has parked the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. And he thinks he's done enough. Well, as we all know in motorsport, qualifying doesn't always guarantee you the victory. Mathieu Milou has now dropped down to 11th position. As there is, one of the drivers going out of the pits. I think there might be Ben Norton. Cassis Salu from Estonia looks to also have parked up. So the drivers now, if they're going to put in a hot lap, they're going to need to get out there now, because with a 1 minute 45, well, let's say anywhere between a 1 minute 45 to 1 minute 50-second lap time, you're going to need around about 3 minutes. So by the time you've done your out lap, let's say you take 2 minutes 10 to get your out lap done, or a little bit longer than that. That's where it really needs to count. So you need to sort of start getting things up to temp, start getting things up to speed. Cassis Salu is pitted. Looks like, now was that Milo off in the background? Milo off in the background, possibly in the 69 there, coming out of the last of the double left at Rivazza. Prit Parna, the Estonian, still currently running in the 149s. Umberto Noto looking to improve from 14th position. 2 minutes and 15 still to go on the clock in qualification. And it's looking rather ominous. Pirone has parked it in 3rd. Plivac in 5th. Kunsabo in 7th. So just under 2 minutes of the session remain. Whitehead is still in 1st, but Sutiano has yet to respond. Finazzi about to cross the line. Currently P10. Goes 9th and still has an opportunity. So the 391. Oh, Mats Walden goes off through the midpoint of Rivazza. So Paganin is the 30th driver on the grid. And with 1.5 minutes still to go, Paganin, the best lap from Paganin at 2 minute 55. So actually nowhere near. And look, goes off. Catches the right rear wheel on the gravel, on the dust, kicking it up. Through Rivazza. Paganin goes up 2 places. Could still make some inroads. Maybe even a top 25 might not be out of the question for the number 5. At 1 minute 50. That was a significantly big improvement there for Paganin. Finazzi still in the second half of the top 10, as we are less than 45 seconds away. As there's one of the Norest Racing Team cars off, and that was in the barriers heading into Variante Alta. So Finazzi now pushes the pedal to the metal. Could be a bit tight. And this is regarding crossing the start-finish line. Because Finazzi is now about to come out of the final corner. Let's see if Finazzi does improve. Runs a little bit wide coming sides to park it in the pits. And with that notion being determined, it is now checkered flag in qualifying. Ben Norton out on a flyer at the moment. He's got to try and get better than fourth to be on level pegging with the likes of Mihai Suțianu in second, with Luke Whitehead on provisional pole. Norton coming through Torza. Now up the incline towards the right-hand kink that will take him through into Piratella. Through into the 90 left. Takes a real good run of momentum coming down the dip and heading in. Nicely planted there by Ben Norton. Takes about the right amount of apex. Lets the car run a little bit wide. Coming out of the second right-hander at Acqua Minerale. Now up to Variante Alta. The last chicane on the circuit. Oh, that was very neat and tidy. So let's just keep with him for a moment. Okay, we're going to get an onboard view down from fifth. So he's gone second. That helps with the traction on the back end. Out of the final corner, out of rFactor comes Ben Norton in the number 13. Roaring that Lamborghini on towards the checkered flag. Here in qualifying, will he improve from fourth position? We are about to find out. Goes P3. 1 minute 45.669. And that puts him... you know what? My brain is absolutely baffled. A 45.0 in free practice, and Luke Whitehead goes nearly 0.6 of a second quicker in qualifying. A 1 minute 44.541 to give him pole ahead of Mihai Suțianu. Ben Norton rounds out the top three. If ever there was a time for me to be speechless, it would be right now. Wow, Luke Whitehead. A 1 minute 44.5. And it just showed the depth and breadth of this competition here this evening on World Pro Racing. Don't forget, you can head to worldproracing.com to find out all the latest information about what we are doing, which platforms we're on. We just had the conclusion of what's been the fantastic World Pro Racing ACC Sprint Series, which concluded last Friday. Congratulations to all the relevant victors there as well. Obviously, there was a €500 prize fund up for grabs, with €250 going to the champion of what was a 5-round series on a Friday night. Don't forget, we've got Gran Turismo Sport GT3 action at Suzuka this coming Thursday evening. And then we've got the 90 minutes of Monza next Tuesday. Effectively, which is next Tuesday, if memory serves me correctly, or it might be. No, that'll be in 2 weeks' time. That'll be our year-end finale here on World Pro Racing. Obviously, Christmas not too far away. Next Friday is Christmas Day. I think very shortly we'll be getting through to the race. A big thank you to Melita, who are helping to power this stream. Rustmaster, AMD, HyperX, Gaming Malta, and visitmalta.com. If you do want to follow me on Twitter, you can actually see just below me here is my official Twitter handle. So please feel free to give me a follow at any time and get in touch, interact with us on our various World Pro Racing social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And a big thank you to those watching. Right, 30 Lamborghini Super Trofeo cars ready to go racing here at Imola. Luke Whitehead and Mihai Suțianu on the front row, with Whitehead on pole. Ben Norton and then Pironi on row 2. Plivac and Ryler, row 3. Consabo and Milo, row 4. Littlewood and Finazzi, that completes the top 10, ahead of Gemello, Noto, Jamsran, Casesalu, Ressa, Piardi, Reboldi, Cisco, Revrock, and Bergstrom, rounding out the top 20. Oh, well, it all comes down to this. Who is going to be the winner of the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge here at Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari here in Imola? 23 degrees air temperature, 29 degrees track temperature. Looks to be optimum for a little bit. There is a 4 kph wind, but it is down to Whitehead and Suțianu that bring us around Rivazza. as we're about to go racing. It looks like Norton ready to get his teeth bared like a vampire, biting into the jugular. But it is time to go racing. It will be down to everyone to keep it ship-shape and Bristol fashion. Cross the T's, dot the I's, leave no stone unturned on this racing start. Lights are red on the gantry here at Imola. And we are about to find out who's going to get the run down to Tamburello to take the lead on the very first lap. Wait for it. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. 40 minutes. Green light is given. We are off and racing. And it's a great start from Mihai Sutianu, who tries to keep it planted around the outside of Luke Whitehead, going into Tamburello for the first time. 3 abreast. A little bit further down the order, Ben Norton holds on ahead of Pironi. There's been a turnaround. And there's 2 off to the right-hand side, exit stage right at Tamburello. Looks like Gurgly Consabo being one of them. Milo might have been. And there's more carnage right at the very back of the field. Oh my goodness. And it's 3. Oh, I can't even look. It's 3 wide going into Villeneuve and then into the run down to Toza for the very first time. But Whitehead has got the jump on Sutianu. And look at the 2 at the front. They have dropped. Norton, Pironi, and Rilla now up into 5th place. Littlewood 6th. Milo rounds out the top 7. Looks to have possibly, that might be Casisalu just behind, or Finazzi. Kun Sabo's dropped all the way down to 15th as Revrock closing down on the Hungarian. Paganin rounding up the top 30, well, the 30 strong. But that was an absolute carambolage as, up the inside. Plivac looking to go up the inside of Revrock. And that was through. Variante Alta. But Whitehead still trying to keep in front. And that's not looking good for some of the drivers. Consabo was in the bottom 10, but Whitehead lead. So 3 miles completed, and Whitehead has a little bit of a lead over Sutianu. They now filter their way through. So let's have a look at the top 20. Whitehead, Sutianu, Norton, Pironi, Ryla, Littlewood, Milo, and then you've also got Finazzi, Casisalu, Noto rounding up the top 10. There is Casisalu, who is directly in front of Umberto Noto. So these drivers really having to think about a lot of strategy calls, because in about 17 minutes time, the pit stop window will apparently be open. So as soon as I get the nod from race control that the pit stop window is officially open, we could see a lot of drivers maybe having that opportunity, that foresight to move forward into the pits and get themselves back out on track before the rest of the opposition. So you can just hear a lot of the drivers going down the gears. Paolo Cisco being closed in on by Adam Plivac. And that's on the run through out of Variante Alta. Down into... Oh, that's getting a bit close there for comfort. Plivac towards the outside of Cisco. And that is through Rivazza. But Cisco holds on. As we now go on board with Adam Plivac in the 320. I'm sorry, the 420 there. Across the start-finish line. So Plivac down in 17th position. Ribaldi having an absolute ding-dong battle here with Kunsabo and Reina Ressa. As now Ressa trying to go up the inside, but Kunsabo goes up the inside through Tamburello. Oh, Ribaldi gets squeezed. And Ressa manages to get past Ribaldi. Drifts a little bit wide. Coming out of the second part of Tamburello. So they've gone into Villeneuve. And Ribaldi now has got Revrock in the number 76, closing in. And that was a bit of a run wide there through Toza from Ribaldi. And if Ribaldi's not careful, revRock will get the upper hand. But decides to slot back in behind. So Marcus Littlewood is actually definitely punching well. And has got Milu in the number 69 closing. But Littlewood, in the meantime, is closing on Janaraila. And this is the battle for what is going to be effectively 5th position. So we go on board with Mathieu Milo in the GDL Racing 69 Lamborghini. They're now going through the double left at Rivazza. Oh, bit of overcorrection there from Milo. You can just see how hard these drivers are pushing. Touch on that front. I'm sure that the stewards will be investigating, but Cisco was absolutely looking at the bullseye in the back bumper of Stigford. And Stigford, I think, just came out second best heading into Tamburello. But there is Luke Whitehead, and he has started to canter away like a prized Italian racehorse into the distance. Ahead of Mihai Sutianu. There's Tanel Casasalu from Estonia, who's ahead of Umberto Noto. And it looks like Jamsran in the number 17 just behind. Then there's David Corso. And Corso currently in 29th position. Gemello now closing on Johnson, just up ahead in the 85. Right, so Corso got a drive-through from race control as a result of a contact with Elbrecht. As Littlewood now fending off Milo. Oh, this is getting rather a bit dicey going into Tamburello, but Littlewood keeps ahead for the minute. Then Milo, trying to go around the outside of the exit of Tamburello. That's brave and doesn't get past, but keeps in the slipstream. They're now going to head down to Villeneuve. Into the 90 right. Then they're going to go into the left-hand hairpin at Torza. But that was a very, very good amount of defense. Oh! Milo spins the car around on his own. That is going to kick him out of the top 10 for sure. Oh, my goodness me. Milo did an absolutely brazen job of trying to keep it around the outside of Littlewood. Oh, he back ends into the barriers. Oh, my goodness me. There's still 31 minutes and 45 seconds to go. But Milo has just absolutely cost himself big time. Casasalo has a little bit of a sideways moment coming through the second part of Acqua Minerale. As here is Marco Piardi. Oh, there's another turnaround. Was that Milo again? Oh my goodness me, Mathieu Milo. And it is. He's had 2 dramas, 2 spin-outs within a matter of corners. Milo has just had a race go from bad to absolutely catastrophic. And from 24th in the next 31 minutes, that's going to be a tall order. As Casisalu still battling away. There's Jamsran. And there is Gurgly Kunsabo. And Kunsabo keeping it planted towards the inside, coming across the start-finish line into Tamburello. It's a great move. Well predicted by Gurgly Kunsabo in the number 11 to put himself back up into 10th position. Now the chase is on. Ed revRock now being closed in on by Piardi. And Piardi sticks it up the inside in the number 7. Oh, revRock and Piardi go grass tracking and also dirt tracking. Now that could be an advantage. Just Piardi off again. Piardi off again at the very next corner. Oh, there's been more off-track excursions into the dirt than I've had hot dinners this week. And that's completely true. So Piardi, Marco Piardi now being hustled by Adam Plivac. Afonseca not too far behind in the number 67 as Plivac up the inside of Piardi. Nicely done through Toza.
puts the Polish driver up too. Oh, Johnson! Johnson hard into the barriers, front end in, and that was rFactor just behind. Oh, Stephen Johnson got away with that one. Wondering if the stewards will investigate that one. But look at the front end of that Super Trofeo for Steve Johnson from RDS Motorsport. I think rFactor could be getting the sharp hand of the sharp slap on the wrist behind us. Now, what has happened to Luke Whitehead in the meantime? Because now Mihai Suțianu has taken the lead and is ahead of Ben Norton. And Whitehead far off into the distance. So I'm wondering, did Whitehead have a moment? So 29 minutes to go on the clock here in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge here on World Pro Racing. Don't forget, you can head to worldproracing.com to join us and register. Whether it's your chosen platforms are the likes of rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione. Oh, look at the lunge there from Ben Norton. That was nigh on a lick the stamp and send it, a la Daniel Ricciardo, who moves to McLaren for 2021 in Formula One, having just completed his second and final season of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at Yas Marina this past weekend. So Suțianu coming under more and more pressure from Ben Norton. So they're now going through Acqua Minerale. Up to fourth gear. Climbing up the revs. Down to third, down to second. He's keeping the pressure on, but Luke Whitehead. Now, I think he might have had a moment a bit earlier on in the race. So that's uncharacteristic of Luke Whitehead. However, this track at Imola is very, very demanding. And the slightest mistake, Marcus Bergstrom in the number 15, now running in 20th position. We'll make that 19th as he's ahead of Mateusz Albrecht. Piardi in 21st, Mathieu Milo, 2 spins in 1 lap as we've got yellow flags out, which have just been retracted. So Corso has got a drive-through. I'm just getting word from race control what that is for. That could be for track limits or maybe even another incident. Cassis now being pressurised by Jamsran, going across the line into Tamburello. So Plivac on Cisco. So Plivac has had a drive-through penalty issued by race control as Talon Cassis from Estonia now drops down into 9th position, but is still not letting Jamsran out of his sight. Cassis up the inside through Villeneuve. Oh, that was a cheeky move and a half, but he got the job done there. Well done to Cassis, who's back up into 9th position. So as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, yep, Adam Plivac now has to serve a drive-through penalty for contact on that is Paulo Cisco from the Nord-Est Racing Team. And he's got rFactor trying to go around the outside of him through Toza. But even he thought, well, you're not going to get around there, sunshine. The door will not be open for you, I'm afraid. But effectively, Plivac has shot himself in the foot with that drive-through. On the reference to the impact on Paulo Cisco, I'm afraid. So we're just under 5 minutes and 50 seconds away from half-time here at the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge here at Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari here at Imola in the Bologna region of Italy. Marcus Littlewood now coming under pressure as they come across the line ahead of Jan Heiler. So Littlewood having done a great job so far in this race, up to 5th place. As he and Heiler now go through into Tamburello. So it's a left. Into a right as Cassis and Jamsran go nigh on side by side. Oh! Jamsran absolutely cut across the front of Cassis convincingly there. And that really could have been a lot more dangerous had anything happened. Plivac is now serving his penalty. Pit stop window now open with just around 25 minutes still to go. So as you can see on the middle of your screen, that's how long the pit stop window will stay open for. So 9 minutes and 43 seconds. So when we have I think that will make it, yeah, there'll be around about sort of 15 minutes to go on the clock where the pit stop window will be closed. So server time now at 5:15 p.m. Track temperature is at 26 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees air temperature. And this is where it really, really counts. What is going to be the strategy of certain drivers? So a few drivers are in the pits already. Paolo Sisco, Milo, Paganin, they're all in the pits. They've got to take on tyres. Well, they've got to do refueling, actually, on these, as Sutianu. So, looks like Ben Norton has dropped to 4th place. Whitehead now closing on Sutianu. That is for the lead of this race. With 23 minutes and 45 seconds still to go. So, Jan Reiler, Umberto Noto. And we've also got Diego Reboldi now in the pits. Gergely Consavo in the pits. So they're all looking to pit within the first 5 minutes of this race. But it is Mihai Sutianu that still leads the way with just over 23 minutes on the clock remaining. And they are starting to come into the pits. Johnson in the pits, Afonseca in the pits, Gemello in the pits. So Sutianu, oh, Whitehead absolutely thundering through that chicane at Variante Alta. That was definitely a bit too close for comfort. Could have been a new Nomex, virtually speaking, required there for Luke Whitehead as Mihai Sutianu still continues to lead. 7 minutes and 20 seconds still remaining on the pit stop window. Whitehead now jumps into the pit lane to serve his mandatory pit stop. 50 kilometers an hour. If they are over the slightest iota over, it is an instant drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So, hazard lights flashing on Whitehead's car. Sutianu looks to be going a bit longer on strategy. There is Ben Norton, who is behind Daniele Pirone from the Nord-Est Racing team. Reina Hesa in the number 690 looks to have Leigritsen. Leigritsen in the number 70 just behind. Finazzi goes into the pits. Whitehead in the pits, as I said earlier on. Riboldi now in the pits. There's Reina Hesa also deciding to go long, and that is, who is that just behind? Just keep an eye on that number. That looks to be the number 69 possibly. That is the case of Mathieu Milo, who is pretty much out of contention. But Milo just decides to thunder his way past. And that's going through into Villeneuve. So we're on board now with Reina Hesa, the RHID Motorsport 690 Lamborghini Super Trofeo. So RIHO. So down into the dip, through Piratella, down into the double-righted Acqua Minerale. Through, and he's going through in 4th gear in the first part, 2nd gear in the second part, to now go up the gears. Now on the run down to Variante Alta. Just under 5.5 minutes of the pit stop window remains, as Sutianu has pitted from the lead. Pirone has also pitted from 2nd. Ben Norton in the pits. They're all flooding in right now as we're 15 seconds away from hitting half-time on the clock. And there's Sutianu. Pirone now in the pits. Ben Norton will now get... Oh, stop go 30 for Luke Whitehead. He's sped in the pit lane. Stop go 30 for Luke Whitehead, and I think that's for speeding in the pit lane. Ah, I'm going to wait until that is confirmed. But Whitehead, if he's sped in the pit lane, it was 50 kilometers an hour. That is disaster for Luke Whitehead. That puts him out of contention for this running here at Imola. Casisalo is pitted. Norton is pitted. Pirone. Ligritsen has also pitted. Looks like Pirone is coming out of the pits. And it is the pits quite well and truly for the number 4 of Luke Whitehead. Oh, drive through for Norton. Oh, an in-game penalty, I've just been informed by for Luke Whitehead. So, looks like Norton's got to drive through. So, Norton, that will be a drive through for speeding in the pit lane. So, the penalty that has been issued to Luke Whitehead is for something completely different. So, Ben Norton, so both their races have been compromised. So this is going to give an outside chance to someone that we haven't really seen feature in GT3. I mean, Marcus Littlewood is one of them. We've got just under 4 minutes to go in the pit stop window before it closes at 15 minutes still to go. So Littlewood in the number 14 leads from Jamsran in the number 17. But some drivers have not yet opted to pit. Littlewood now pits from the lead. Oh, as one of the NERT cars goes spinning, coming out of Rivazza. Walden in the pits. Elbrecht is pitting. Johnson's just there. He's up to 18th position after that moment earlier on. So Littlewood pits from the lead. Jamsran now in the pits as well. Reiner Hesse in the 690 now pits, and the bright pink Lamborghini. So Sutianu is now coming across the start-finish line. This basically gives him back the lead, which he had when he came into the pits. So just 2 3/4 minutes still to go. So Whitehead trying to chase him down. But then there's that stop-go 30 hanging over his head. It looks like a dark cloud that's about to throw some rain rather than some sunshine on his parade. As there comes Ben Norton. So it's going to be a straightforward drive-through. He served the penalty early, as others have pitted. So Hesse, Jamsran, Revrock and Littlewood. This could potentially give him the opportunity at maybe a top 3, maybe top 5 finish. But now he's got to put the hard work in. As one car just literally cuts across the front of him as he exits the pit lane. Now it's a full-on sprint to the end of the race. Mihai Sutianu coming through the chicane at Variante Alta. He's got the double left at Rivazza still to go. Before he completes another lap, and Mihai Sutianu being close to a victory. He's been on the podium, but he's never won a race as far as my memory remembers or recollects thereof. He's been on the podium, as there is Marco Piardi looking to try and get past Adam Plivac. So the number 7 from Nord-Est Racing Team, currently running at the top 20. Less than a minute to go on the pit stop window, then it is officially closed. And there will be post-race penalties for those drivers that have not taken their mandatory pit stop, which would have included refueling. So now, this is where the hard work begins. They put in the foundation. But then after the pit stop is where the real hard work begins, as there's a little bit of a kick up of the dust. And there is Norton closing on Estonia's Kasisalu. And that's for 6th place. Looks like Luke Whitehead is about to serve his stop-go 30, which does not give him any possibility of contending for the victory. As, Norton trying to go around towards the outside through into the first part of Tamburello to cut back and get the inside run. But look at the positioning that Norton's got at the moment on Kasisalu. And Norton nearly going up. So pit stop window has now been closed. As Norton still trying to get his way past Castisalu. Just awaiting for a message to come through from race control. As round the outside of Torza goes. So Cisco gets a penalty for his incident in putting Stigfort into the barriers earlier on. So he gets a drive through. As Norton round the outside. That's brave if ever I thought it. And that's on the run through Piratella into the inside line for Aqua Minerale. And Ben Norton keeps it well and truly planted. Luke Whitehead. So, revRock and Milo. revRock gets the drive through for his efforts on that one. So Luke Whitehead now has 14 minutes. How fastidious is this? To try and get from 14th to first. It's going to be a tall order. There's Umberto Noto in the 72. He's battling off Jamsaran. That is for third position at the moment. Ben Norton is trying to close. Castisalu a little bit further into the distance. So we have just 13.5 minutes still to go. Umberto Noto looking for a podium here. So Sutianu leads at the minute from Daniele Pirone. So Pironi rounds out the top two. Umberto Noto in third ahead of Jamsran, who is trying to close him down in the number 17. Norton ahead of Castisalu. Littlewood in seventh. Finazzi, Ligritson and Rilla. So Cisco now has been pinged with the drive-through on the left-hand side of your screens. Afonseca in what is 15th. There's Ligritson. He's being closed in on by Jan Rilla. That's the battle for 9th position. And Jamsran battling away with Ben Norton. Norton up the inside. Does he get the move done through Piratella? He does. And literally powers out through the corner like a rat up a drain pipe. And slingshots past Jamsran. What a great move. 12.5 minutes still to go. And look, Umberto Noto is going to come under massive pressure. So revRock's going to have to go for a drive-through. Piardi has got a drive-through for hitting for an incident with Elbrecht. So 3 drivers, as there goes revRock. Oh, running wide out of... and on the run down to Dorza. So multiple drivers. Those 3 drivers I've just mentioned will be well and truly outside of the top 20 when the checkered flag falls. So Umberto Noto still feeling the heat, and as they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the race car kitchen. But Noto literally swallowing up the pressure as now they head down towards Tamburello. Oh, Norton towards the outside. Noto goes defensive. Oh, runs wide, kicks up the dust, and that's going to allow Norton the opportunity he needed. And as in Latin they say, carpe diem, seize the day, and that's definitely what Ben Norton quite clearly seized, with Noto looking to strike back on the approach into Villeneuve, but Noto not able to capitalise. And then is Jan Reiler in the number 1 Lamborghini Super Trofeo, ahead of the number 70 of that is Christopher Ligritson. As all, there's definitely a bit of a skirmish. That's 5 cars. So Reiler, Ligritson. Watch out for Gergely Kunsabo in 11th position in the number 11. He's not too far behind Ligritson. There we go, on board with the Hungarian at the minute. Now into the double right at Aqua Minerale. Into the second part of it. Absolutely putting the pedal to the metal. He's looking to go into the chicane at Variante Alta. Close, but not close enough there for Gergely Kunsabo. As up the inside, that is Littlewood on Castisalu through into the first part of Rivazza. But now, 3 quarters of the race completed, 1 quarter to go, 10 minutes on the clock remaining. And Mihai Sutianu still leads There's Masvalden being passed there by Jori Stigfort. Oh, there was nearly a touch between the pair. They do say that rubbing's racing, but motorsport is normally non-contact. Lagertsen losing out there to Gergely Kunsabo, who gets the run on the number 70, sweeps across the front, and Lagertsen tries to go for the switchback into Tamburello. No dice there, I'm afraid. Track temperature as it now hits 6:15 p.m. on the server. Look at this ding-dong battle. It's a 3, maybe 4-way scrap as Patrizio Gemello up the inside of Lagertsen. Oh, that was close, going through into Villeneuve. But Ryler still trying to close on Finazzi. But the thing is that whilst his quartet are battling, that's going to... Oh! Spin for Lagertsen. Spin for Lagertsen, and Gemello spins in sympathy. And, oh my goodness. Would you believe that? Synchronized spinning from Super Trofeos. That's a bit of alliteration for you on a Tuesday evening. But disaster there for those guys, because that's going to hand... I think if Luke Whitehead has already gotten past, that's going to get the number 4 very, very close to the top 10. So you can now see that Lagertsen and Gemello... Well, it looks like that Gemello, I think, still might be with them. But we're into the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So Sutiano Liz from Daniele Pironi, Ben Norton, Umberto Noto, Jamsran in 5th place. Littlewood closing. Rita Panna gets a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe rejoin, a redress, if you will, if it's in Australia. As Jamsran gets... Oh, up the inside goes Littlewood there. Oh, nicely done by Littlewood up the inside, but he loses traction. Oh, he must have run a bit deep going through the first part of Tamburello. And that allowed Jamsran to close up, and Cassis Salu is not too far behind. So there is Stephen Johnson. He's got Mathieu Milo on the number 69. Lamborghini closing down as they're now heading down. Oh, sending it up the inside like a good one, but gets a tap from Johnson. Oh, Milo. Oh, my goodness. As they say that lightning does strike twice, but for Milo it has struck thrice. And they sometimes do say that 3 times is a charm. Not for Mathieu Milo this evening, I'm afraid. Well, there have been more twists and tales than the never-ending story here at Imola this evening on the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge Casual Race here on World Pro Racing. 6 minutes and 54 seconds. Still to go. Jan Ryler getting pressurized tooth and nail as Gergely Kunsabo, the Hungarian, has definitely got the bit between the teeth. Stephen Johnson, I think, has let Mathieu Milo back past as a result of that unsightly tap, and that's the sportsmanlike thing to do. And in karting, that would be considered as advantage by contact. So Luke Whitehead, who was in contention for the lead and hopefully the victory of this race here at Imola, finds himself down in 13th position. Actually, make that 12th because he's just got past Lagertsen. So as Lagertsen comes into the pits, now is that for damage? That could be for damage. So Whitehead now has 5 minutes and 50 seconds. The thing is that both Gemello and Kunsabo are too far up the road, unless they have a coming together, as Jamsran has got Littlewood right on his back bumper going through Torza. But I don't think that battle for 5th place is still over yet. Umberto Noto still in 4th. As Littlewood struggling with the back end for traction. Again, it sort of snakes from the left and to the right. Lagertsen's got a stop-go 30. And that will be for speeding in the pit lane. So Jamsran coming still under pressure. This is for 5th place. So if Littlewood is able to get past Jamsran very, very quickly, within the next minute or so, he's got a chance of going after Umberto Noto, who is up ahead in the 72. Whether he can close up on Ben Norton is a completely different matter altogether, because the 13 is right off into the distance and is only looking forward, not looking back at what's transpiring behind. Meanwhile, Mihai Suțianu closing on some of the back markers, and that is Adam Plivac just up ahead in the 420. Plivac lets him through, and then just up ahead will be Bergstrom in the number 15. So up until 15th position, just under 4 minutes to go, will have had a lap put onto them by the race leader. So whilst everyone else at the moment has faltered, Mihai Suțianu has kept in front and has not looked back. Just decided to get on with the race at hand, concentrate on themselves. Taneli Kasisalo from Estonia, best performance so far here on World Pro Racing from my recollection since I've been commentating on this fantastic channel. Roberto Finazzi trying to get past the back marker, who should be giving way, and that could be Stickfort. Stickfort needs to get out of the way, otherwise he'll get a penalty, and does so very, very quickly. So Finazzi looking to close on Kasisalu for 7th position. Umberto Noto is being closed in on by Marcus Littlewood. We've got just over 2.5 minutes of this race remaining, as the battle for 4th wages on, going through into Tamburello. Noto has just got to hang on, whilst Littlewood has just got to push and attack and just wait for that moment to present itself at the earliest opportunity. With Mihai Suțianu and Daniele Pironi. Ben Norton rounds out the top 3. Umberto Noto in 4th. Marcus Littlewood ran out the top 5. Jamsran, Kasisalo, Finazzi, Punsabo, Gemello round out the top 10 ahead of Ryla, Whitehead, Ressa, Afonseca, Plivac, Bergstrom, Milo, Johnson, Ligretson, who will be demoted outside of the top 20 following a stop-go penalty. Oh, now there was one driver well off exit stage left going through Acqua Minerale. And that would have been one of the back markers, I fear. Revrock in 20th, Stigfort, Walden and Parma rounding out the top 23. So we have 1 minute and 8 seconds still to go. I would imagine that the next time that Mihai Suțianu crosses the start-finish line, he's going to go into Acqua Minerale for what will be the penultimate time of this race. Oh, contact there between Noto and Littlewood with just over 30 seconds to go on the clock. Oh, now that is definitely a bit too close for comfort there between those two. And that could be investigated. But I didn't really. It was very, very nip and tuck between the pair of them as to what was happening. So the timer is now about to hit 0. Leader now on the final lap here at Imola for the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge at Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. So Kasisalu now being closed in on by Finazzi, it looks like. And that's the battle for 6th place. So the time has hit 0. Mihai Sutianu is about to go through Villeneuve for the final time and then into the left-hander at Toza. And Mihai Sutianu, whilst others have lost their heads, he has kept himself cooler than a cucumber in a cold fridge. An absolutely brilliant performance from the Walk Racing number 22. Goes down the dip into Acqua Minerale for the final time. Then it's just the Variante Alta and rFactor to negotiate as Casisalu is going to come under pressure, not just from Finazzi, but also Kunsabo. Kunsabo, the Hungarian, now comes in onto the final lap. Oh, it's nearly 3 abreast going into Tamburello, but up the inside of Finazzi. Does Kunsabo get the move? Oh, they bang door panels. Oh, Finazzi nearly got steamrolled up the inside by Kunsabo. Oh my goodness, dramas on the final lap. But out of the final corner from Walk Racing, winning the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge here at Imola, it is Mihai Sutianu in the 22 from Walk Racing. The checkered flag waves, he takes it. Well done to Sutianu. Looks like Pirone will take, so that's Daniele Pirone in the 96 from Nord-Est Racing Team, takes second. And he flashes the lights, absolutely jubilant. Ben Norton now comes through. And that is from Variante Alta. He'll just have the double left at Rivazza to negotiate down the dip. One final time in the gifted racing team ace of Ben Norton in the number 13. He powers out of the final corner in his Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Back end steps out a little bit to the left, to the right. A little bit of a wiggle there from the number 13. As he now comes across the line to take the checker flag and round out the podium here at Imola. What a great drive from Ben Norton. Could have been in the hunt for the victory, but it is Mihai Sutianu in the number 22 from Walk Racing who takes the victory ahead of Pirone. Norton, Littlewood would end up 4th ahead of Noto. Casisalu, Kunsabo pips Finazzi at the line to take 7th position. Gemello and Whitehead. Luke Whitehead recovers after that stop-go 30 to finish in 10th position. But wow, what a race. What a race. So we're just waiting for a few more of our competitors to come across the line, as that really is about it. But Mihai Sutianu, dominant here at Imola. Well, who'd have thought it? 40 minutes of Lamborghini Super Trofeo action at the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari at Imola in Italy. A great drive by Mihai Sutianu. Unfortunate, really, for the likes of Ben Norton and also Luke Whitehead. Whitehead would finish P10, but then you'd also have Ben Norton recover to finish in P3. Marcus Littlewood did a great job to be in the top 5, beating Umberto Noto at the end of it. But, you know, we're going to have a chat with some of our drivers before we conclude things here on World Pro Racing. Big thank you to you all watching on TVM Sport in Malta, motorsport.tv, also eSports TV, along with the World Pro Racing Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube streams as well. A big thank you to Melita, who have helped to power this stream. And looks like we've got our first driver interview. So many congratulations to the number 22 from Walk Racing, Mihai Sutianu. Well done. Great drive this evening. Whilst everyone started having problems, such as Luke having a stop-go 30, Ben having a drive-through, you kept your head cool. How are you feeling?
I feel great because I have finally won a race in World Pro Racing, even it is a casual one. With a little luck, as you said, due to a mistake of Luke.
Now, do you actually drive like that in real life? is the next question I've got to ask you, because obviously some of the drivers that do drive with us at World Pro Racing also race in real life, not just on the simulators.
No, I am in high school. I have 14 years old.
Okay, well, there we go. And that was from our Twitch channel as well. A big thank you to Justin Mifsud, our broadcast director this evening. So, Mihai, well done. Congratulations. And hopefully we'll see you back with us here on World Pro Racing very soon. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we've got, I'll now speak to our third place driver from Gifted Racing Team, Ben Norton. Ben, you were in contention for the victory. Obviously, we had, I think you had a drive-through during the race. It sort of put paid to what could have been a really good race between yourself and Luke. I know that Luke came under bother as well. He had a stop-go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, but third still is a pretty good effort nevertheless.
Yeah, I had a lot of pace in the car, but I messed up in the pits. The pit limiter wouldn't engage, so at the start of the pit lane, I got a penalty for it. But it was okay in the end. I managed to recover, get the fourth and third. It's quite lucky for Luke to have a penalty, so I could get on the podium. But yeah, I'm happy with today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a bit different from what we've had all season long with the GC3 casual races. How was it driving that Super Trofeo for a change from what you normally run in?
It was actually really good to be fair. I had a lot of confidence in the car, so I could push it very well. But seeing as it's my first time getting in the car, I felt really comfortable.
Well, Ben, congratulations on your third place finish here on the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Challenge at Imola. Well done tonight. Okay, well, it looks like we've got no opportunity to speak to Daniele Pironi, who's got no headset. So I'd like to thank both Ben and Mihai for talking to me. A big thank you to you all at home watching. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, so effectively, there's plenty still to go. We are not done in 2020 with World Pro Racing just quite yet. Don't forget that on Thursday night, we've got the Gran Turismo Sport GT3 casual race at Suzuka. That's starting at 20:30 Central European time. Also, we've got the 90 minutes of Monza in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from tonight, the 29th of December 2020, helping us see out 2020 and hopefully bringing 2021 in with a big bang at New Year's. So a big thank you to our partners with this stream being powered by Melita. Visit Malta.com, Thrustmaster, AMD, HyperX, Gaming Malta. A big thank you to you all watching on Malta's TVM Sport channel, Esports TV, Motorsport.tv, and also for you watching on World Pro Racing's YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook channels. This is Alex Goldschmidt signing off for now. Hopefully I'll see you guys and girls all again soon. Stay safe, and don't forget, very shortly, we'll be heading to the highlights. Thank you for watching, and good night for now. Take care.
This stream is powered by Melita, using Melita Gigapower Internet. World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
Senna was a god. No one could even dream to follow him.
I'm from a very humble background.
The role of women at that time were really difficult.
It's just so dangerous. You are risking not only your life, but also my life.
Wish your Wi-Fi network would just work in any room? Our new Stellar Wi-Fi is AI assisted to give you the smoothest, fastest possible Wi-Fi throughout your home. Stellar Wi-Fi assisted by AI, exclusive to Melita. Find out more in-store or online.
World Pro Racing, where sim racing becomes real.